Welcome back to another MECH 1000 video. We're working on drawing 10.4, and we just finished drawing our last part. We actually didn't even really draw it, we just brought it in from the design center. And we ran out of time at the end of the last video before I could add the center lines here. So I tried using a center mark, didn't really like it, so I'm just going to draw a couple lines here. 1 1/4 inches horizontally, 1 1/4 inches vertically, and then I'll take the vertical line and move it using its grip to the midpoint of that one, and then move them both to the center of the bolt like that. And I'll just draw a longitudinal center line there, and then just stretch it out. Looks like I need to adjust my snap settings here. Just sort of an arbitrary amount. And maybe a little bit more on that side. That looks pretty good. Okay, so I've got all the parts now. Now I can actually begin to put them together in the top right corner here, where we're going to create our assembled drawing. So I'm going to start. By taking. Well, actually, I'm going to start by turning off the annotation layer. That's one reason why we put all of our dimensions on separate layers, so we can just easily turn them off like that. And you know what? I'm also gonna. There are no hidden lines in our assembly view, so I'll hide that as well. And you know what? I'm going to turn off the center lines too. AutoCAD just gives you that warning whenever you try to turn off your current layer. So I'm going to take this now and copy it over here. And I'm going to take this bolt. I'm going to copy it up here. And this is actually sort of seeing the bolt from below. You can see the shaft of the bolt is shown as solid, visible line. And so we kind of want to flip this upside down. And since we're not seeing hidden lines, we're not going to see either of these two circles here. Now I don't want to just double click and edit this block using the block editor, because that would change this one down here, and I don't want to do that. I just want to change this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explode this block, and then I can edit it. I can delete all these lines. That's funny, they're individual little line segments. That's fine, I can get rid of that. And I'm going to also draw a circle in here, like so. And then I can move this to sit right on top of there. And then once I've got that the head of that bolt positioned, I can delete the circle that represents the hole, because the bolt is going to cover up that hole. And then I can just copy this to that center, and that one, and that one, and that one. And then delete all of these. Okay, so that's the cap, which is going to sit on top of the base. So I'm going to copy the base up to here. And I think maybe so that I can tell the difference between the cap and the base, well, let's see, I can do a couple things here. All these internal lines are going to be covered up. All I really need to do is take outside. Yeah, these outside parts are the only parts that we're going to see. So I'll just take those and I will copy them from that midpoint to that midpoint. And there we go. I can now get rid of the rest of this. Don't need that anymore. And then we've got our bushing, which is 1/2 an inch by, what was that dimension again? 2, 1/2 inch by 2. So I'm just going to recreate those. Nope, what am I doing? Let's turn off dimensions. That's what I meant to do. Okay, so I can just draw the head of that bushing with a rectangle. 2.5. Now as far as locating them, let's see, I can turn back on my center layer perhaps. And I'll copy these 2 center lines from that midpoint to that midpoint. And I can move this there and copy another one over to there. And then I can get rid of those. Okay, there's my top view. Looks like I'm going to probably need to make a little bit more room. And when it comes time to setting up the paper space, I might have to move all these views around a little bit, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Alright, let's look at the front view. Let me turn off that center line layer again so I can copy this. Put it right there. Now let's copy the cap. Ooh, I think we got a problem here. We do. That problem I had earlier I thought I fixed, but I did not, did I? Okay, so something's either wrong with my cap or something's wrong with the base. So let's figure out which it is. Let's put a dimension on here. That looks okay. I think it's at the, it must be on the base. Yeah, it's the base. Huh, okay. So I think everything needs to shift over. What is this going to be? 0.0625, a 16th of an inch. Okay, here's how I'm going to fix it. I'm going to take the cap and move that up. I'm going to move it up a specified distance so I can know how far I have to move it back. Let's get these bottom parts as well. Okay, move that up 0.5. And what I need to do is I need to move everything in there and that all over 0.0625. Stretch that over and this over. See, everybody makes mistakes. We just need to be able to know how to fix them. Okay, now everything's looking good, but that means that I need to fix it in this other view down here as well. So I'm going to turn on my other layers because I'm sure I've got other, well, maybe not the dimensions, but the hidden lines and the center lines. Let's get them turned on as well. Actually, the hidden lines and center lines are probably okay. I'm going to turn them back off. Okay, so I just need to move all of those features and those two lines over 0.0625 and then stretch these two lines. And I'm realizing now I'm missing some center marks here. I should have some center marks on those semicircles, which would have moved if they had been there. Yeah, not really a fan of the way those look. So I'm going to take the ones from up above and copy them. Alright, now we're back in business. Okay, so we've got the front view. We just need to actually replace these two circles with the bushing circles, which have an outer diameter of 2 and an inner diameter of 1.125. Diameter 2. And let's make another one. Diameter 1.125. And I'll delete or erase these. Trim those lines. I'm going to leave that circle there for now so that I can copy and snap to its center. Now I'll get rid of it. And I can just do a stretch with the grip. Okay, so there's the front view. Alright, what else do I need? I need to put the hex head screw caps on top. So I'm going to copy my hex head bolt, I should say. I'm going to copy one of them over and then rotate it. -90 degrees. Okay, so I've got this bolt here, but I only need the top of it. I only need the head of it. And so I'm just going to explode it so that I can delete all that, and that leaves behind the cap. And I'm going to place it on here in the next video because I'm just about out of time. So that does it for this video, and we'll finish up the assembly view in the next one.